Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, December 19th, 2016. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. Albania's Constitutional Court will convene on Thursday to rule on the judicial vetting law, which is seen as a key step towards opening EU accession talks. The decision was made during Monday's meeting of the Constitutional Court members. An Aura News journalist has learned that the Venice Commission's opinion on the law was officially received by the Constitutional Court on Friday. Currently, the vetting law and the judicial reform have been suspended by the Constitutional Court after the Democratic Party's appeal to determine if the law is unconstitutional. The Constitutional Court suspended the vetting law in October and asked for the Venice Commission to review and give its opinion on the compatibility of certain aspects of the legislation with both the Albanian Constitution and the European Convention of Human Rights. In an interview for Aura News TV, the head of the Constitutional Court asked the public, media, and politicians to stop pressuring the Constitutional Court, guaranteeing that the vetting law will be reviewed before the legal deadline. The head of the Constitutional Court reaffirmed that the court would never impede the country's integration. The Venice Commission released its opinion on the reassessment law for judges and prosecutors, which says that the Commission believes there are no constitutional conflicts in the vetting law and it is in accordance with the international conventions. Prime Minister Edi Rama declared today that the complex issue of property and land ownership in Albania is closely tied to the long-awaited justice system reform, and that implementing the reforms will help solve the property issues of the last 25 years. Prime Minister Rama spoke at the inauguration of the newly reconstructed Agency of Property Treatment building in Tirana and blamed corrupt judges and courts for the damages caused to properties over the last 25 years. Corrupt judges have caused great damages to the properties during these years. If there is a subject area directly related to the judicial reform, it is absolutely the property ownership reform. The justice system reform is seen as a tool to tackle high-level corruption, but this country desperately needs a justice reform that also puts an end to the property rights injustices, Rama said, adding that the judicial reform will provide a final solution to the property issues. The reform we have undertaken is a most difficult and a most complex one because it gives a final solution to the issue. The property law provides for a deadline for the return or compensation of the properties to its owners, said the Prime Minister. According to the Prime Minister, the government has made $500 million in funding available to guarantee a complete compensation of properties. Seven members of Parliament submitted an urgent interpellation request in Parliament today, asking for explanations from Prime Minister Edi Rama on the issue of opening Albania's negotiations for membership into the European Union. Emphasizing that as of a few days ago, the EU still has not set a date for when negotiations with Albania could begin. The 7 MPs expressed their concern in writing. The issue of integration has been postponed until an unknown time. The continual postponement diminishes hope, creating insecurity and destroying Albania's image. The members of Parliament underlined that the opening of negotiations with the EU is a priority issue of our politics, and therefore they require an urgent interpellation with the Prime Minister of the country relating to the actions the Prime Minister and the government have taken for the process. The Vice Minister of Interior was called to report at the Parliamentary Commission of Foreign Issues, where she spoke about the Albania-Greece border cooperation. During her reports, the Democrat MPs asked the Vice Minister about the arrest of Clement Balili. The Democrat MP Aldo Bumci asked the Vice Minister why the state police have not arrested Balili, as there has been an international order of arrest issued since May 17th of this year. The Vice Minister of Interior replied that the minister has provided a clear response regarding this issue and that the state police are committed to doing their duty and respecting all procedural actions. Meanwhile, the Vice Minister of Justice responded saying, I do not understand why the government is being asked about Balili's arrest. The Constitution clearly stipulates who can arrest him. Later, the discussion was focused on the vetting law. The Democrat MP Bumchi and the chairwoman of the commission debated over which is the most important law of the judicial reform. The Democrat MP also accused the government of liberating corrupt state officials from prisons. The Minister of Justice, Mr. Manyani, presented the amnesty bill at the Parliamentary Law Commission, for which he said that the aim is to help female prisoners, the elderly, and those who suffer from serious diseases. The minister announced that 670 prisoners will be given amnesty and released. The minister clarified that the aim of the amnesty is not to reduce overcrowding in the prisons, but to help marginalized people. We propose that 670 people be given amnesty. 15 out of 94 women will be released, 7 older men over the age of 60, and 8 prisoners, each with serious diseases, are among those who will be released. Those convicted for corruption will not be given amnesty. Those convicted for murders will not be given amnesty. No amnesty for those who committed domestic violence crimes. No amnesty for those who have repeated a criminal offense. The DP has expressed its concern about the amnesty. We are willing to improve any criteria, declared the minister. The chairman of the Parliamentary Law Commission postponed voting on the amnesty as the opposition was not present at the meeting, allowing for the opposition members to become part of the discussion. Parliamentary Inquiry Commission on the IMSI catcher equipment, established at the opposition's request, gathered today where the directors of several prisons reported. The General Prison Director reported that he had learned about the existence of the equipment from the media. The former General Prison Director did not make any comment on the issue, declaring that the issue is still under investigation, and for this reason, he cannot say anything about it. The former prison director also declared that he has never communicated with the Minister of Interior about the issue. The Inquiry Commission also listened to the testimonies of other prison directors. Opposition members claim that high-ranking state officials have been tapped and consider this a violation of national security. Recently, the Minister of Interior, the State Police Director, and the Director of the State Informative Services also reported at the Inquiry Commission, but gave no information, claiming that they cannot speak about issues that are under investigation, and urged the opposition to ask for information from the prosecution. Tirana City Hall completed the reconstruction of the capital's Kindergarten 54, creating better conditions for the 55 children that attend the school. Tirana's mayor inaugurated the newly reconstructed kindergarten today, praising the initiative Adopt a Kindergarten as one of the most successful projects of 2016. I am really enthusiastic that we are inaugurating one of the best kindergartens in Tirana and maybe in the region. This project is probably one of the best success stories of our first year in office, declared the mayor, adding that special attention has been paid not only to improving infrastructure, but also to increasing the quality of services. We have a good quality, not only in the building's infrastructure, but also to service infrastructure. I never imagined that we would have one kindergarten teacher for every 5 children, which is a European standard. I am really happy that foreign ambassadors who live in our country are bringing their children to state-owned kindergartens, concluded the mayor, highlighting that he will ask the City Council to support the City Hall project to increase investments in kindergartens and schools. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Mari, and on behalf of ORA News, thank you and good night.